Alright, what's good everybody? It's your boy Edger626 back again with some more Black Ops 3 here for you guys to watch. I didn't really have any topics to talk about, but like any gaming topics to talk about, you know. I could talk about more how much I hate this game, but you know, that would just be repetitive and boring. And I'd sound like everybody else in the community, and I don't want to try and do that. So what I thought I'd do instead is give you guys a little bit of story time, because why not? Before I do that, I just want to talk about the two gameplays I have are both gameplays of me getting in the game late. This Dingo one, I went like 10 and I think I went like 10 and 0 before I died. I went like 14 and 3 at the end, something like that. And I have a game on Infection where I got in the last two games and went a flawless 8 and 0, which is actually, even though I got in late, it's the first time I've ever went flawless in the game, so I was relatively happy about that and surprised at the same time because I was lagging like a son of a bitch, as you guys will see later in the video. So, the story I thought I'd tell you guys today is the story of, I've mentioned this a couple times before, the story of how I dislocated my kneecap. Now, I was planning on doing it a lot sooner. I was planning on telling the story a lot sooner, but, you know, things get in the way, and I guess I may have forgotten. But it was over a year ago, and I think it was almost a year and a half ago. I was a senior in high school. We were in a gym, right? And it was like a week before I had just gotten my driver's license. Like I failed the test the first time, and then I passed it the second time, thankfully. And then like a week later on that Friday, I had gym and we were playing soccer, right? And I figured, I'd play soccer or something. I don't know. They didn't really. In gym, you have choices, and they didn't have many good choices, so I just picked soccer. So, and there was this opportunity. There was a time in the game where we were losing like 2 or 3 to nothing. So I hate losing, especially in gym. Like I hate losing in video games. I hate losing in real life, even if it's just a gym sport or whatever. I wanted to get my team into the scoring position, and that was the first death of the game. I was pretty upset about that. Yeah, so I wanted to get my team into scoring position. So I broke away with the ball, and I didn't want to kick it because my kicks suck. Like I knew if I tried to kick it, I would have missed. And I tried kicking it over to somebody who was better at kicking than I was to see if he would score. And as I'm kicking the ball, something weird happens. Like I lose my balance a little bit, and as I lose my balance as I kick the ball, I went to plant my left foot on the floor, on the hardwood floor, and I don't know if it was momentum or just all my weight shifting to one side of my body, but all of a sudden I feel something weird, and it was painful. And I never felt this type of pain in my life before. So I go down. Of course, naturally, when you're in pain, you shout out a huge F-bomb. So I went, I was like, fuck! And then I went down, and everybody's looking at me like, oh shit, is he okay? And I knew something was wrong because a second or two later, I felt that something with my knee was kind of fucked up, and it was nothing I've ever experienced before. I've never had a major injury before, but at this point I knew that something was up with my knee. So everybody's crowding around me, and I'm in pain for a good 5 minutes. Everybody's crowding around me. They're telling me, Matt, you'll be good, you'll be fine. So yeah, some guys were even on their phones to see if I had broken anything, but then it was pretty much decided it was a dislocation. So thankfully for me, it was nothing too bad, but it was still one of the first major injury I've ever had in my life. So yeah, so they have to call in an ambulance. I roll over to my back, and I realize that I'm not in pain anymore after that 5 minutes. And I asked my gym teacher, I said, Did we at least score? Like I felt it was like as if I was perfectly fine. I just straight up said, "Hey, did we score?" I was cracking jokes with my knee on the far left side of my leg. It was my left knee, I should say. It was my left knee, and it was on the far left side of my leg. It had completely popped out. So I'm like, and everybody, I'm like cracking jokes. The nurse goes there, the principal goes there. I'm like cracking jokes on the floor with my knee popped out, and then the paramedics come in, the ambulance, and they're asking me questions, and I'm answering them pretty calmly. Like I don't know if they were surprised or not that I'd be this calm with my knee completely jacked up like that, but it was pretty ridiculous though. So I go to the hospital. You know, the hospital ride was probably the moment I actually dislocated my knee when I landed my leg on the floor, and that moment when I dislocated my knee, and the ambulance ride, and when they had to pop the knee back in the emergency room were probably the most uncomfortable moments of that whole day. Because, you know, obviously when they pop the knee back in, it's gonna fucking hurt. So it was nuts. I've never felt pain like that. And then, you know, that same day I'm getting I had to go home. So I wasn't gonna go back to school. So I had to go home, and and like a couple days later, everybody's asking me how I'm doing and stuff. You know, I was like, wow, people actually care. So I mean, that was over a year ago. My knee is a lot better than it was, and I just hope you guys have enjoyed this little story time I have for you. You know, any other things you want me to, if I wasn't clear enough, please let me know in the comments section. But I hope you guys have a very good day. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.